Today we are wrapping up a series called How to Be Rich. I want you to recognize that the title is not How to Get Rich. It's how we can live our lives in a way of being rich that honors God. And if you were with us last week, or last couple of weeks, or you weren't with us, we want to bring you up to speed on what we have done. If you were week one, that we learned some good news and some bad news. The good news that we learned was we're rich. You were rich. And a lot of people don't feel rich. They look at themselves but if we look at ourselves compared to the people around the world, we are very, very rich. In fact, so rich that if you earn $45,000 a year, you are in the top 1% of wage earners alive today. It's good news because we can enjoy God's favor that God has given us, and it's good news because we can make a difference in the lives of people around the world. The good news is you're rich. We also learned, though, some very bad news, and the bad news was you're rich. It's bad news because our richness is one of the greatest spiritual challenges that we will face. Because we are rich, it is a huge spiritual hindrance. It can take our focus so easily off of God, and in fact, it's so huge, a huge spiritual challenge, because it's so easy to trust in our riches and not to trust in God. Have you ever thought this, heard this, or said this? That money changes people? It's true. Money changes people. And typically we say money changes people. However, I don't know that we ever say it this way. Money changes me. Does it? If it changes people and I'm a person, then money can change me. It can be for the better and it can be for the worse. Typically, when people don't know God very intimately, money changes them for the worse, doesn't it? It makes people arrogant and proud, overly confident and rude and selfish. All we have to do is look at the news reports that come out at 5 o'clock on the fourth Friday of November, and see how people treated one another in the shopping malls and different stores. People will more typically give less, and they'll become more selfish. They become more materialistic, and they start to pursue the things of this world. And money changes all of us, and sometimes it's for the worse. But for those who are very close to Jesus, though, money doesn't change us for the worse. Instead, it can change us for the better. And it can make us more humble. It can make us more grateful. And that's what we talked about last week as far as thanksgiving and understanding the one who has blessed us with the abilities, has blessed us profoundly, that we can give him thanks for that. It can make us generous. It can give us a very real sense of responsibility, because money doesn't just change people, money changes us. That's why what I'm about to talk about is so very, very important. If you're taking notes, this is a crucial thought that we all need to recognize. God is testing you. At this very moment, God is using money and wealth and riches and things to test you and to see if we are capable or not of just handling material blessing. But if we're capable of handling that, we're capable of handling the greater, more true blessings and the riches of God. God is testing us, and he wants us to know if we can handle the real blessings. Look at the words of Jesus. This is what Jesus said in Luke chapter 16, verses 10 and 11. Watch this test. Jesus said to this man, he said, whoever can be trusted with what? Very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will be dishonest with much. Jesus said this. He said, so if you have not been trustworthy in handling what? Your riches. If you've not been trustworthy of handling your worldly wealth, he asks us this question, who then will trust you with true riches? Who will trust you with the real deal if you can't handle responsibly that which is less important? In other words, Jesus wants you to know, he wants you to know, will you pass the test of prosperity? Will you handle well all that God has given you? Because honestly, most people don't. Today, we